My stay in Silent Hill was very uncomfortable. Loud neighbors, my mattress was damp, everything was generally very damp, and I had a very unenjoyable encounter with the flesh lip. I'd never played Silent Hill until now, and the reason was simply because it looked ugly and unfun, and now that I've finally played it, I can't believe how kind of right I was. Silent Hill 2 was everything people said it would be, a true piece of literature worth examining while also being incredibly ugly and unfun. Resident Evil looks quite pretty, it's the fun Halloween-style horror. Silent Hill just doesn't make me feel good. Humanity doesn't win out in the end. There's no rocket launcher victory, and the worst monster is in fact yourself. Comparisons to Resident Evil are pretty superficial. Both are horror games with weird cameras, yes, but Resident Evil has always been gameplay first. Inventory, saving, planning routes, always about strategy. Meanwhile, no one comes to Silent Hill for the gameplay. You can't compare Silent Hill to another game. Fine. Then you might hold it up against perhaps a David Lynch movie. Well, Lynch would sit you down and make you stare at a highway for 10 minutes, but it was always intentional. He didn't leave you fumbling around a hotel, examining every shelf and drawer for an hour until you realize you only need 3 coins and not 5. To get the stairwell key. And even Lynch's darkest films would have more colour to them than the genuine greyness of Silent Hill. Then shall I compare you to a novel? People might throw around Stephen King, I might even mention Wuthering Heights. And yeah, if you stripped out just the narrative from Silent Hill, then sure, it can be just as depressing as those stories, and might even make you think about the human condition or something. But also, here I am getting killed by a cockroach. So do we say Silent Hill is good literature but a bad game? There's a hot take. Every time this angle is brought up, you'll hear the defense that the jank is actually integral to the experience. And you know what? Yeah, the jank does in fact make me more depressed. The gameplay is never cathartic or rewarding, which makes sense because James isn't having fun either. Shines light on a bit of an inherent dissonance present in something like Resident Evil. Wasting zombies does feel rewarding and cathartic for us, despite the protagonist living through what is definitely the worst day of their lives. So yeah, Silent Hill is such a weird shape we can't quite compare it to any game, book or film. I'd probably say it mostly reminds me of a breakup? Yeah, imagine your worst breakup. Regarding my playthrough, I played on hard. It took me 8.5 hours and I got the ending where you listen to a truly heartbreaking letter from Mary, are given 15 seconds to let it sink in, and are then subjected to the filthiest credits theme I've ever heard. This 40-second long Pyramid Head chase section took me 12 tries to get past. By the end of it, I didn't feel scared of him, I felt angry. Maria kept getting killed. I didn't have enough handgun ammo to slow him down, and whenever I used the shotgun, I would kill Maria. After trying everything else, I decided to hit him with the pipe, and to my dismay, saw that it completely stun-locked him, slowed his movement speed, and would not damage Maria. The alternative to this harrowing experience would have been to play on a lower difficulty level, finish every fight first try, then feel underwhelmed. Which one is the authentic Silent Hill experience? You decide. Spending 30 minutes backtracking for a key item you missed takes me out of the experience a bit, as I wonder, why am I spending my precious free time running up and down the same corridor? I didn't work hard all week so I could do this with my Saturday morning. Anyway, this might just be the authentic experience of being lost in the fog. You decide. I expected the music would be awesome because I've been listening to the best tracks for years, and the cutscene tracks are beautiful, but most of the time you're actually just listening to this. Getting to the point, I've been writing non-stop about this game for 30 minutes by now, and that means one thing. Silent Hill is memorable, and it will make you think. Like all good lit, Silent Hill is kind of like a mirror. It reflects different aspects of the world when you look at it from different angles. So I guess it's great actually. Like a mirror, we fill in the blank parts with ourselves. This game is only still being discussed because it is a paradox and it is fundamentally open-ended. After rolling the credits, I see there's no clear statement or moral, which is something a lot of people must have been hoping for as they forced themselves through to the end. Without a clear explanation, we have to perform our own mental gymnastics to make sense of it, and we are left to ponder the narrative's confusing implications while we press cross 100 times and watch James hit this scary thing. Fuck it, I do think that the jank is an essential part of the experience. Hell, maybe it's the final flourish. I actually did convince myself over the course of writing this that Silent Hill 2 is a perfect game. Like, I literally changed my mind in real time as I considered how much of the weirdness and the ugliness was likely intentional. When all is said and done, I find myself thinking of Angela more than anything else. It feels careless of the writers to depict someone in such a terrible position and not offer them or the viewers any sort of way out, like genuinely mean-spirited. One has to wonder, what are the benefits from seeing something this awful? Will it help us become more empathetic in our own lives? Remind us how we need to look out for each other? At least I'd hoped a positive message would be possible to take away. Don't want to believe the writers were completely misanthropic. Looking outside into the broader world of horror movies, sometimes the nastiness is just there for its own sake. Some horror movies are ugly and foul just because that's the fastest way to stand out and sell tickets. The horror doesn't have to change our worldview, it just has to intrigue us enough to make the purchase. It doesn't need to serve you a neat little moral, it just needs to make you uncomfortable enough that you discuss it with your friends, the series builds notoriety and it sells more. This is the Saw style of horror. This is what I've heard people say Silent Hill became for a bit when it entered the PS3 generation. They say it became shallow. General consensus is that Silent Hill 2 is not shallow, but now I wonder at what point exactly do we draw the line? I'd say Silent Hill 2 isn't disturbing in a gory YouTube thumbnail clickbait kind of way. It's a lot more understated. There's less blood and gore than even the tamest Resident Evil entry, and this bland grey fog is not trying too hard to catch anyone's eyes and ship millions of copies. Silent Hill 2 is an honest game, maybe too honest. It's authentic. I'm glad I finally decided to play it. If the fog ever dissipates, this town might be a nice place to live.
You're going out there alone? Yeah. Eddie?